Great! Now that we went ahead and opened up Playground, we noticed it came with precompiled code. It's okay if you're unfamiliar with it. I'll go ahead and walk you through. So on the first line of code, basically we see what's called a comment. So the way you write a comment is basically using the forward slash twice, and this creates an inline comment. Awesome. Next we have an imported UI kit. So basically, it's importing a framework library, which we won't get into. Um, in a couple tutorials down, we definitely will cover import. But as far as right now, let's just take my word for it. So next we have a variable string hello playground. So basically, we're declaring a variable, and we'll be using these in the next lessons. So how do we basically create multi-line comments? We already know how to do the inline. So if you want to use multi-line comments, basically so you can block out a lot of code at the same time, you do it as so. So you create an asterisk in between, and that creates an open and a closing. So whatever's in between here basically gets commented out. So let's go ahead and comment out the code that came already with the program. So we went ahead and commented everything out. So this is basically called multi-line comment. Great. So now we actually don't need this code. So it's always smart to keep your code clean and consistent. And so when you have outdated comments, or comments that are not necessarily essential, just go ahead and erase it. So let's go ahead and erase all this mumbo jumbo. And I do want to share with you that Swift actually has the ability to nest comments inside multi-line comments, which is uniquely to this language. So this is basically a nested comment, and it's a multi-line comment. Awesome. So great. Now that we went ahead and did that, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this, just to keep it clean. Now, um, I am gonna declare a variable. Let's call it Mr. Roboto, and then I'm gonna add an emoji by pressing down Command Control and Space. So now I added Mr. Roboto, and I'm gonna let's make him say something. Hello, Moto, beep, pop, boop. Great. So now let's declare a second variable, and let's call it Miss Gorilla. And here we're gonna add another emoji, same way, comment, control, space, and we add the gorilla. So the reason why I'm focusing on comments is that I noticed an early mistake that I was doing when I was first starting to program. I would write comments everywhere. Although it's good practice, I wasn't writing comments the right way. And I will explain to you what I mean by that. So basically, if I wanted to use a comment in this particular instance, a wrong way of using a comment would be Mr. Roboto should say hi. So if I'm explaining the how or the mechanics of what I'm implementing here, my variable, then it's the wrong way of using code. So line number 7 here is wrong. So Mr. Roboto should say hi. Instead, what we want, let's just say these are special characters of a game, right? Um, let's go ahead and remove this comment. So a better way of saying it is explaining why. So let's just say these are special characters. Awesome. So this perfect way of using a line of code is reminding you that these are special characters. So let's say we write the traditional characters, right? So these are basically variables that I'm declaring, and we'll get more into the specifics of how everything works in the next tutorial. So let's create a constant, and then we're gonna go ahead and call it Steve Jobs, right? And he's gonna say salutation. So here, control, command, we're gonna add the emoji. Let's add Mr. Steve Jobs there. Next, let's create a YouTuber. Pew pew die die. Awesome. So now we're gonna add an emoji. This one looks fairly good. Alright, and we're gonna say Zappo. Awesome. So now that you noticed a good way of using comments, make sure you get in the habit of writing good comments. Also, if you're needing to write a lot of comments, that's basically should give you a heads up that you're not writing good code. And basically, I will emphasize why. And so, well, let's get to it. Now, I will be covering more over naming variables, which should alleviate the fact that you need a lot of comments. That is all, guys, and now let's go ahead and go cover more on naming variables. All right, giggity giggity.